Welcome to another episode of Successfully Live. I'm Adam O'Donnell, the co-founder of Successfully. We're excited to be here with Katherine Barrios. She's the CMO of Xeneta. So Katherine, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you, Adam. Thanks for having me here today.
Definitely. So the reason I'm excited to talk with you as a CMO is because we've seen this interesting trend of customer success and marketing working closer and closer together. And we're just at the SaaStr conference this week and saw another example of that on a panel where a bunch of CMOs said success was the most important part in the department besides sales that they want to be working really closely with. And we a lot of times see success reporting to marketing. So I know you're an example of that. I know you've also been watching Successfully Live for a while. So I'm just excited to know like why is success now so important to you? Why has it kind of gotten on your radar as a CMO?
Quite passionate about the subject. So we are, Xeneta is an ocean freight benchmarking and market intelligence platform. So we're in the shipping logistics space and we deal with very large companies that ship cargo. So we have a variety of new acquisition, and then obviously retention is important for us. And the way our team is set up is that customer success and marketing are in one team, really looking at the full funnel. So from new acquisition and conversion to retention, and our goal is to gain new business from existing customers. So that's really the crux of that, how the team is set up. We learn a lot about our customers, a lot about our target personas, our ideal customer profile that's helping us bring in new business. So it's really about learning from why people bought, what value they expected to get from the product, delivering on that promise with our customer success team and onboarding, providing value. We have a complex product, extremely enterprise B2B, very large companies, and then we hope that we learn and are able to bring in new business. We use it at the top of the funnel with blog content. For example, all the text that we write for our personas, all our automation mails that we do, and then we have also introduced a customer advocacy manager who is within the team, who's bridging between customer success and marketing with a variety of programs, learning programs, office hour programs, webinars, anything that we can do to keep our customers happy, retain them, identify upsell, of course, and then bring in new business for us as we go into that path.
I just want to ask the question, like, why is it marketing that is now caring so much about this? Like for you, because you used to not have customer success like a year ago, right? Like this is a new function. Like why now?
Well, for us, it was interesting. So customer success overall for the organization just came into play about a year and a half ago, or a little bit less. So we didn't have customer success, which was kind of odd, but we realized that we needed to have it. It ended up going into marketing really because of looking at, first, of course, it needed a home in a sense. We didn't want customer success only to be something that was just focusing on the monetary, getting money in. And that's not the only thing that customer success does, and definitely not in my eyes. Of course, it retains revenue for us, but there's more to that. It's going to help us bring in new business, of course, but we're going to retain customers. We'll also be able to learn from them, and bridge our teams together. So we have sales, product, marketing, development, customer success all together. But what we're able to learn from customer success and from our customers, it's actually golden for us from a marketing team on the acquisition side. That was clear. That was really why it sort of fell into play.
Could you first kind of dive into how you actually get those learnings? Is it like a weekly meeting? Is it just like through osmosis because you're working closely with your marketing team?
Yeah, so we have our teams are actually our marketing and customer success team. The people, they sit right next to each other. We have our part of our sales team together as well in this one area. We have so the conversation goes very well together. We also have meetings where we're exchanging information. We then have obviously monthly data meetings where we're showing this is what caused a customer to be closed won. These are the activities that were done. There's a handoff that happens, of course, to customer success. From customer success, we can learn what type of questions that they're getting from their customers. For example, we're starting to sort or store that information in our CRM, where they have the notes and etc. They can hear the conversations. Marketing can hear the conversations that customer success is having during onboarding, just by being in that room where we usually do web onboardings. Just hearing that and the type of questions that they get is so important. For example, demand generation person, for our customer advocacy person. Just today, we did a training on our new UI that we launched. We had customer success in there, marketing, together with product. Everyone got the same information. And one of the interesting things that our customer advocacy manager said is, well, I want to hear the questions that customer success is going to ask about the new UI. And that was like, oh, they want to hear the questions because that's what's going to help them learn what type of programs or webinars we could be launching, not only on the retention side, but also on the acquisition side, because we're
That's
anticipating questions. And that was beautiful, actually, Dad. And that was just today. Everybody was in the same room with product and getting a training on our new UI.
it's like the unification of the company internally, and when that happens, like just better, like the walls are coming down in terms of the silos.
Absolutely. And it helps us, we're able to identify champions within different customers. Advisory board, for example, that we're launching, we know who to target, who are the people that maybe we can target to provide guest blog posts for us, for example, learn more about their business, how they're using our product. That creates assets for us on the top of the funnel. So that connection is very important.
That's under the advocacy kind of mindset as well. The two quick questions. So first,
Sure.
just general KPIs. Like, what can you share? Like any kind of customer KPIs that you have? Like, do you have an expansion KPI and a retention KPI, or is it just expansion?
So the success team has a KPI on account retention. They have a KPI on revenue retention, and together with marketing and customer advocacy, then there's a KPI on NPS, sort of growth of NPS score. Um, we look at not only just the score, but what's more important is really how many promoters we've moved, or how many passes we've moved to promoters, and how many detractors we've moved up the funnel. So that together is a KPI, but they are the key measurement for the success team is, of course, on account retention and revenue retention, and then they have identification of upsell. The team doesn't actually work on the upsell because that would make them too salesy, right? And we still need to focus on the value. But they identify upsell because it's natural during the conversations that they have during their life cycle as a customer success manager, and those we keep track of those that are identified, but it's thrown back over the fence to the sales department to close.
And does that count as a lead for your team? Because customer success is ultimately under you.
Right. Yeah. So that is the identification upsell is a metric that we are following, that we track.
Interesting. That's very interesting. And just can you help us like understand the org structure real quick? Because I know you said customer success is KPIs, but like how does that fall under you? Is it like directly under you?
Yeah, so I'm responsible for both the marketing and the customer success team. And in total, we have, as both teams, we have, for example, KPIs on identification of new acquisition revenue, sort of what we would help bring in total. Um, Under that also comes into revenue retention. Um, Net zero churn, because if we're able to identify even, right, so you have upsells and then retention of revenue, all of that adds up as well into our overall target. Our targets between marketing customer success are also mirroring what sales has, right? So we're all sort of aligned on these targets. But the marketing and customer success team is under what would be through my area of responsibility as a CMO. So we are under one umbrella.
That's incredible. That's and just I mean, can you give me a breakdown of like the amount of people? Like, is it like, or as a percentage, maybe is it like 10% of your team that you're responsible for is customer success, and then 90% is marketing, or is it closer to 50-50? I'm just like trying to get a
We have 3 people in customer success, and then we have 4, including myself, operational as well on the marketing side. That's our team. So in total, actually, we're 7 people globally. We are 68 people in total in the company. So that's how our team functions, and that includes on the marketing side. It includes demand generation, which is one person. We have a technical SEO person, so we're quite like heavy on the digital side, and myself, and then we have our customer advocacy manager. That's what we have on marketing. That's how we run our acquisition. And then we have our 3 customer success managers. So we have one person heading that team, but is also operational, that owns accounts as well as the other 2, and that's the full team.
That is really neat. And I mean, this is kind of in that same light. I'm just trying to understand like your focus every day because like we know the pressures that CMOs have on just lead generation, pipeline generation, all the normal things that CMOs traditionally do, and now you have this other area that's post sale. So I'm just curious, like what percentage of your time are you spending on pre sale and post sale acquisition, so we can kind of get an idea.
It's really 50-50. To me, customer success it's so important and part of alignment of an organization, just regardless of just marketing customer success, but bringing in the sales component as well, because marketing obviously supports. We're here to support sales. That's the only reason we exist. And then we got to make sure that we are attracting the right customers or the right prospects, that this is quality driven, that at the point that we close the right customers, we don't want to close the wrong customers, because that's going to cost us heavier later. So the handoff between what marketing brings in when it goes into the sales side and they're working that journey, and when it closes one and is handed off to customer success, and then they're responsible for retention, and we're responsible then for learning from that customer to bring a new business. That's got to be flawless almost in a way, right? There's got to be alignment. So uh, it, it's hard to have that be siloed, right? So I need to spend equal amount of time on all areas, especially between marketing and customer success, because what we learn from them is extremely important. It teaches not only marketing but sales back. There will be cases, and there have been cases where like maybe this customer wasn't really the one who wasn't the right customer, right? And every company faces that. It's like, well, did we sell to the right customer? And that goes back to the top of the funnel, right? So it's yeah, I know I'm sure tons of companies face that same challenge. And in order to try to fix that challenge, is you need to know why companies have bought, what value they're getting from their product, so that we can replicate that again and gain the right ones at the top and get rid of all the bad ones, the ones that for some reason just churned. There's a variety of reasons why customers churn, but if it was for reasons that we didn't have the right message for them, then something went wrong, right?
Oh, that is so. I mean, this is so good to know. The next question it kind of makes me think of is just when you were bringing on the customer success team initially. What was that conversation like? Maybe with the executive team of like who's going to have this accountability? Was it always just like, oh, of course marketing's going to do this, or was it like, well, maybe they should be on their own, maybe it should be under sales, maybe it should be under product? Could you kind of walk us through that?
Yeah, it was. There was that conversation. To be honest, we didn't really know where customer success would fall. Where it was a pretty new team, and a young team as well. It was like, well, we need to. Could they be standing on their alone? What are they going to be responsible for? How else can we use what customer success does in terms of growing our company and growing our revenue. So we went through a variety of different things, and it actually wasn't only until this year where the team became responsible for renewals, for example, because last year they were only just onboarding, and we knew we had a challenge there. So we started with a firefighting mode, as most companies do with customer success, especially at a company of our size, with 68 people. So it it was a discussion we had, and it was just like, well, it seems that marketing is when it seems to perhaps have the best use of how these teams can work together for the good of the company. Let's put it there and see what happens. I don't really know, to be honest, how it would really go. I knew we had this great connection, and it's um it's moving very, very well. I mean, how the teams are working together is, there's equal amount of benefits of what we learn from them and also what they learn from us. And I categorize myself as a marketer, like us, because I'm a marketing person at heart. Uh, but we learn so much from each other.
That is really good. So the last thing that I want to kind of circle up on is just advocacy and understanding like some interesting things that you're doing around that. I don't know if you could just so you have one person who's in charge of advocacy on your
Right.
team. You kind of paint us through some tactical things that you're doing or that they're actually doing.
One of the first things that we started off with is really finding out more about if our customers were happy or not, and just doing the generic NPS thing. That was just we got to gauge what's happening here. Do people like us? Would they recommend us? So we started running that last year to see where we were at, and then using customer success to follow up on the results. So that's how they first started working together. When we identified detractors, naturally that was a bell, like we need to talk to these people and spend more time with them. When we identified promoters, like, okay, great, let's see, we can get some reference case studies out of these guys. What can we get out of these promoters? And then the mystery people were all the passives, because you never really know where you have them. But then we also decided to continue communication with them. We started doing more webinars. So webinars for existing customers on our actual platform, quarterly webinars. We provide freight rates, like a market index basically for shipping container rates. It's constantly fluctuating. The rates are very important for people to know about and how you can use the data for the good of your business. And we decided to start running campaigns on different webinars for customers via advocacy, where it gives them opportunity to ask questions, to learn more, and create platform stickiness, because that's the other thing that we wanted to use advocacy for as well, was to make sure that people use our platform, get value out of it, and then will ultimately feel so sort of committed to our platform that they then want to talk on our behalf. Um, Definitely create case studies out of them. And the next thing that we've now moved into is an advisory board, where we are selecting key customers, and that comes into having product involved, where we're validating new things that we're building, new market entries, just getting an idea of what can we do with our product to provide value to our customers. So that's a big key thing that we're doing. And we also have our own conference, for example, that we have for our customers, where customer advocacy manager is leading that as well. And so I think the learning part of it, the new UI training, all these webinars on market and industry, that flows with advocacy, and customer success is key there. So those two teams work very closely together.
Thank you so much again for your time in doing this. I really appreciate it.
It's my pleasure, Adam. Thanks to you.
Definitely another great episode of Successfully Live.